everybody, welcome to HawkTalk. I'm Trey Peters.
I'm Joseph Ray.
Today we have Coach Gardner back with us. So we're going to talk about some football. So last night y'all had a JV game against Geneva County, right? How'd that go?
Really good. Young guys played really well. We ended up winning 36-0. Everybody played hard. Defense pitched another shutout, which is always big. Offense moved the football. We're able to capitalize on some big plays, on some big drives. So it was a really good night for our young guys and good showing in front of our home crowd.
Score?
36-0.
All right.
Yep, gotta love that.
All right. So, up and coming players on JV. Who do you think is making themselves look good?
Yeah, we got some young guys that are playing really well. I mean, Ruben Garcia is our backup quarterback on varsity, but he also takes the first snaps on JV. He played well last night. Cameron McDonald played well behind him. Corey Thomas running the football. Taquavion McKeeshan out there playing receiver. Owen Packard. And we've got a good young group. This offensive line's got a good group. Demarion Gray, Damari Williams, AJ Page, Caden Beckworth-Key, Ryan Jahandar. I mean, we've got a solid little group. They finally put all the pieces together last night for a big win.
It sounded like they did very well.
Yeah,
I saw some clips. Cameron had some big runs, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Cameron had some big runs late in the ball game, and I think scored our last touchdown. And so, yeah, he ripped off some big ones late, which was fun to watch.
Yeah.
Probably made the best play on defense we made all year too. He came off when they tried to run a reverse on us, and Cameron came in there and chopped him down and flipped the guy.
Oh,
yeah, it was big. It was a big time play.
All right. First quarter.
All right. So, how'd you guys do in fourth quarter?
In the
first quarter.
In the first quarter,
Yeah.
we got the ball first. We drove it down. I think we ate up most of the first quarter. Ended up scoring. Don't remember who. I think Ruben scored the first touchdown. Then Geneva County got the ball, and Christian McDonald forced a fumble, and Jarvell Jackson scooped and scored him for a touchdown. So we went up 12-0 in a hurry, and then it just kind of kept growing from there. I think we were up 22-0 at half, and then we came out the second half and kind of kept the same intensity, stayed on them, scored again to make it 30-0, and then we scored late to make it 36-0. So pretty good little ball game. We stayed on them the whole time.
Yeah. All right. So who is the leading rusher?
We don't have the stats on the JV, but I would say Ruben, Cam, and Corey and Ty were real close. They all ripped off some big runs. So I'm just going to kind of throw that whole group in there because it'd be real close on the number stats.
Yeah.
So the return of JV cheer, I heard him out there.
Yeah, it was good. Coach Sanders has done a great job. The girls were there. We had a little run through, some support. The girls were running down the track cheering when we were scoring. So it was fun for those young guys to have that group back out there. So it's nice.
All right. So we heard last week that there were some JV people playing varsity as well, like Ruben.
Yep.
Is there any people who had a very good week this week that there could be a possibility they could, run some plays on varsity?
Yeah, I think we've kind of changed a little bit what we're doing on defense, and Christian McDonald and Bill Asadilla showed that last night that they can get some reps on varsity doing some of the stuff that we're asking them to do. So that was definitely a bright spot, seeing those guys last night like, hey, they can do this.
Yeah.
So hopefully they keep coming along and working. They're going to work themselves into doing that for us on Friday night, which is exciting.
Yeah.
What's the week been like in practice?
Week's been good. Last week was tough. We got beat by a good football team, but the score doesn't show. We're better than what their score showed. And so the guys that played like it, there is no quitting our guys. There's no back down in our guys. So this week in practice has been the same thing. We just got to buy into some of the little things and just keep getting better. Yeah. Look, this week count the same thing with Straughn. The first three opponents that we played are all ranked inside the top 10. You got Goshen's number 6 in 2A, Houston Academy's number 6 in 3A, and Straughn's number 10 in 3A. So you got the three toughest opponents we're going to play all year right here back to back to back. So kind of get battle tested early, but we just got to hang in there, keep getting better, and have a chance to win a ball game this Friday.
Yeah. All right, so for week 3, we've seen multiple things we've needed to work on, we have worked on. What is the biggest need of the team right now for us to get this W for week 3?
Willingness to tackle. Tackling is a technique. You do have to have technique to it. but a lot of it's just heart and the willingness to throw your body in there and chop a guy down and make a play for everybody else that's out there. And right now we tackle too high, we keep sliding off of stuff. If we can change the mentality on that side of the ball to make tackles, we're going to be a good football team. But we don't tackle, we're not going to be. So it's just up to these guys, and we've changed a little bit what we're doing, and we've made it a big time emphasis. So hopefully we see a little improvement on that Friday night.
Last week's game, who were the team captains and why did you choose them?
It was the seniors again. I mean, our seniors are our leaders. It's a good group. They're good football players, good kids. They're our leaders. We go as far as that group will take us. So, I mean, those were our leaders for that reason.
Okay. All right, so we're going to be talking about first and second quarter of that Houston Academy game.
Yep.
So, we had some fumbles. Did we have any fumbles?
No.
No fumbles? Now, what about blocking? I know we need to work on blocking.
We moved the football in the whole. I mean, they go up 7-0. We drive it straight down the field. We go up 8-7. Kind of a back and forth ball game. We're struggling right now to make the play early in the ball game that kind of keeps us in it. They're up 20-8. We're driving it again. Amarion busts one on speed option. He gets it down to the 5-yard line. We get a flag for holding, which brings it back. Then we get a flag on a personal foul on the very next play. So we go from the 5-yard line to the 50-yard line, and we get no points off of it.
Yeah.
So then they get the ball back. They move it down. We've got them stopped on 4th and 8. They go for it. We've got the quarterback sacked for about an 8-yard loss. We miss it. Then we miss a tackle on the edge, and he gets the first down. Then they score 3 or 4 plays later and make it 28-8. That's what it went in at halftime. I mean, very easily it could have been 20-14 at half, a one-score ball game. But we're struggling making the plays right now to get over the hump. And so that's what we're challenging our guys is to. When those plays arise, man, we gotta make them. We gotta make them to go in our way, or our favor. So it's gonna happen. I mean, it's when you're playing a good team like that. I mean, you can't miss those opportunities. You gotta seize them every time that you get them. So that's really what we're stressing these guys this week, making big plays.
So how about tackling? How should we work on that?
I mean, we work on it every day, making sure that our aiming points are right, that our eyes are up, you see what you hit. But I mean, it's a willingness to want to. And we've got to find that within ourselves of the 11 guys that we can put out there that are willing to make those tackles, because it's not easy. It doesn't feel good sometimes, but it's part of the game. We move the ball well enough on offense that if we can get some stops to get it back in our hands and have more possessions, we will score. So we got to get stops, and it's just going to be a willingness to want to do that.
Yeah. So, offense in the first half and defense in the first half.
Yeah, I mean, it was a closer ball game in the first half. Just like we just said, we missed some opportunities.
Yeah.
We make some opportunities. We make some of those big plays. It's a little bit closer going into halftime. Then we come back out in third and fourth quarter and hung in there for a little bit, but just still couldn't make the plays. Just didn't make them when we needed to. They gave us some big plays because we missed some tackles again, and so it kind of steamrolled away from us because we just wouldn't make those plays and kind of flip it in our favor.
Yeah.
What are some big plays we had?
I mean, look now, we've got Marion Pinckney right now through 2 ball games averages 11.2 yards a carry. That is
good.
That's really good. I mean, he's got 40 carries for 459 yards, 6 touchdowns. So I mean, we're moving the football. We got a guy that's ripping it off in big chunks. So I mean, we got a lot more positive stuff than what people look at and see right now. What some of the guys feel. We're just playing good football teams, and when you make mistakes against good football teams, they make you pay for it.
Yeah.
And so we got to make sure that we make those big plays, and we make them pay, and we capitalize on it. And so we're gonna get all that situated. Guys are playing hard.
It's just warming up to it.
Yep.
All right. So there were some big plays that. Well, you said we couldn't capitalize on some of the things.
Yep.
What are some big plays that did look good that we should keep on doing?
Yeah, Marion, I mean, when we get the ball in 8 hands, it's pretty good. I mean, he made some cuts Friday night. He just made guys miss and made some really good plays. So he made some big time runs. Defensively, TJ Waller had a couple of sacks that made some good plays. We didn't create any turnovers. We had a fumble on the ground, but we didn't get on it. So we ripped off some good ones on offense with Marion with the ball in his hand. I mean, I think his stat line Friday night was 20 carries for 216 yards and 2 touchdowns. So I mean, he's over 200 yards rushing back-to-back weeks. So that's really good by him. But that's also good by the offensive line. I mean, he doesn't do that by himself. Running backs and everybody blocking. So I mean, we definitely have some bright spots, and we just got to keep building on those.
Yeah.
How did you feel at the half, and like, what did you tell them in the locker room?
I mean, it should have been a lot closer than what it is. I mean, you're playing a lot closer than what that score shows. To keep fighting, to keep doing what you're supposed to, willingness to tackle, all the little things like that. So that's kind of what our halftime speech was.
All right, so third and fourth quarter, what were some turning points after the half that might have looked a little bit better than the first?
Yeah, they kind of caught us on a little slip out of the backfield, kind of dumped it to a guy that we left open, and he missed to, made us miss, and ends up scoring. And that was kind of one that put the dagger in it a little bit, where it was just felt like it was out of reach for the rest of that. Now we kept playing hard, we scored, and we got back battling and got some stops, but that one right there, when we just kind of let an easy one slip on us, it hurt.
Yeah.
All right, so in the second half, did the offense look better?
At times. I mean, I think the first half we moved it, second half we moved it. Just got to make big plays when we get it.
Yeah.
All right. So you said Marion had probably about 216 yards, something like that.
216.
So what was the sacks look like? Who had the most
TJ.
sacks?
TJ had 2.
All right, that's good. And what about fumbles or interceptions? Any of that?
Nobody.
No.
All right. What did you see in the game that you want to work on the most this week?
Tackle. Can't say it enough. I've had people that don't know anything about football that are walking around asking, like, how can we tackle better? So I think everybody that's watched the football game is seeing that what we need to work on. So we got to make sure we get that fixed.
Yeah. All right. So what is what's this week's game plan for Straughn?
Don't let them get on just up front. We just got to keep pounding folks. We know we're good at running the football. We've rushed nearly 300 yards as a team for the last 2 weeks. We just got to keep leaning on what we're good at.
Yeah.
What strengths agree this week? Looking forward to developing and using in this game.
We got to get Marion rolling still, but we got to find some other people that are going to get the ball in their hands and give him a little help on the sides, which we're getting. We just got to find ways to get it to him more in space, and I think we got a good game plan for that this week.
All right. So last week's meal was Guthrie's.
Guthrie's, yeah, it was good.
This week?
Yeah, I think we got one of the mothers that's going to provide the meal for our team this week. So I don't know exactly what it is, but we got another one that's donated. So we've had people that are taking care of us, which is really nice.
So time, place, tickets, all that same thing.
Home again, $7. Got to have a big crowd, another big region game at home, so it's going to be a good one.
Yeah.
So the cheerleaders are doing a superhero theme, so you just dress up like a superhero, whoever, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Yeah.
The cheerleaders have been doing a great job. The themes are great. Everybody's participating, so looking forward to seeing what everybody's dressed up like on Friday.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's all we have for you. We're going to end with another joke.
Let's hear it.
All right. So why did the teddy bear say no to dessert?
Wow.
Because he was stuffed.
Pretty good.
Go Warhawks.
Go Warhawks.
Go Warhawks.